everyone, and welcome to Sit in It for a Bit with Arne and Carlos, and we're as always your hosts,
Arne and Carlos.
And today we are on the road again. We promised you guys that we try to do Sit in It for a Bit even when we're traveling, which we are again. We're just returning from a visit to my parents in Sweden, and this is our virgin trip, long trip with our electric car, and we're currently taking a break to charge, and then we will keep going. We have a story for you about our first experiences with charging this car, and let's put it this way, we are laughing at it now.
But we didn't laugh when it happened.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And by the way, sit in it for a bit is it doesn't mean that we are always sitting and knitting for a bit.
No.
But you can sit on it for a bit while we talk.
Exactly. Sit in It for a Bit is our top-rated podcast here on YouTube, and we usually talk about everything and anything in our lives. We are Arne and Carlos, knitting designers. We've been working as fashion designers as well in the past, and people do love following us and our work. But usually our podcast is more about our life and about the stuff that we do, and you guys get to sit in it for a bit and crochet and whatever. But it is also sometimes a knitting podcast. If we open this little hatch here,
We always have something. So this is the winter project, the brioche sweater. Still working on it, but now it's the charging sweater because I'm almost finished with the sleeve. Actually, I had started the one that is wider because I thought this was too narrow in a way.
Yeah.
But I went back to this one, so now it's almost finished. But the other sleeve is in my brother's house.
Yeah. So you start a new one.
So I started a new.
So you're gonna have
one.
a sweater with 3 sleeves.
Unravel the other one.
Yeah.
The third one. But it's always nice to have this in the car, and especially now since we have to sit for a while and charge the car.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're going to change our podcast to Sit and Charge for a while.
Sit and charge for a while.
Anyway, the only reason we bought this car was because of this little compartment here where we can put some knitting.
But it's not the only one.
No, it's not
There's
the only
a
one.
lot of reasons.
And as you can see, Helmer is with us, and Freya is behind. She's in the trunk.
Yeah.
I mean, not in the trunk. There's no
She has a
trunk.
cage in the back, and she's happy in the cage.
This is an electric car, but it's also an SUV, so it doesn't have a trunk.
No.
And she's in her little cage and resting, relaxing, and we are actually going to be here a short stop, so we're not going to take her out now. Then we're going to continue driving. We're driving all the way to Norway. It's going to take us 8 hours and then maybe 1 hour and a half of charging total,
probably.
I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even that. And maybe an hour of charging because we're going to stop every 100 kilometers to charge the car, and we're going to charge it up to 80%, and then we're going to keep going. And so far so good. This is our first stop on the way back. We did drive it down, and we made all the rookie mistakes that we could possibly make, and then some, when we drove down to Sweden to see my parents a few days ago.
And Sweden is different from Norway because in Norway there are more electric cars, so we can charge the car everywhere.
Yeah, all the electric
We didn't know
stations
it
in
was
Norway.
so different.
Yeah, in Norway, all the charging stations, there's like 15 chargers, and here, there's 4 chargers here, and if you are lucky, which we were in the morning, we get one to do. But there's a lot of queuing now, so I mean, this car charges in up to 80% in 20 minutes. But
it's very quick actually. Sometimes there are cars charging and we drive in to charge our car and we charge the car and we leave, and the cars who were there when we came, they're still there because some of the cars take longer.
Yeah, we have
this is a quick one.
Exactly, we have one of the quickest charging cars on the market today. However, if there's a line, you have to wait. So on our way down, we had a couple of occasions we had to wait between 20 and 50 minutes for the charging machine because there's not enough here in Sweden. And then of course we've got BYO, which we learned when we went to the US, because some places in the US they're not allowed to sell alcohol. So when you go to a restaurant in certain places in the US, you have to BYO, which for those of you who are not in the US, it means bring your own. So bring your own alcohol.
And we figured out they have the same in Sweden when it comes to charging the car, because we found. Yeah, we have to tell the whole story.
Yeah,
because
well,
this is dramatic.
Yeah. Anyway, we have to now that we said BYO, people are going to be wondering what that is.
Oh yeah, we have to bring your own cable.
Yeah. And in Norway, you don't, as far as we know. Every single charging station we have seen in Norway has a cable on it. However, in Sweden, we've already found out the hard way that some charging stations, you need to bring your own cable. Now, we do have our own cable because this car comes with two cables. There's the one that you plug into to a regular outlet. That one we have with us because that's what we thought.
We always bring that one.
Yeah, it's always in the car, and that's what we thought we'd use to charge at my parents' place. However, there's another cable that goes into the box that we have in the garage, and that's a quicker charger. And apparently, in some places in Sweden, you need to bring your own because they don't have it.
Because we drove down and we passed the border.
Where is our cable?
At home.
In the garage.
Because we didn't know. So we drove down and everything was good. We passed the border and we came to the first charging station. The one that is quick, because that's the one we want.
Yeah.
Because we don't have time to sit there forever. And
there
was a queue.
Yeah. There were only 6 chargers, and I say only because we're spoiled in Norway. But here in this particular station, which was a big one, there were 6 chargers, and when we got there, they were all occupied. Plus, how many cars waiting? Like 3 or 4?
3. I think we were number 3 in the queue.
3. No, we were number 4.
4.
And then I said to Arne, thinking of Norway and how the stations are in Norway, I said to Arne, you know what? I don't feel like queuing here. Let's drive to the next station.
Try the next one. And we tried.
Well,
and we tried.
We got off we got on the highway again, and after something like 5-6 minutes, Arne said, I think maybe we should go back. And I said, no. I'm sure there's a new station nearby.
Because I almost freaked out because we had so little electricity.
At that time, we had about 50 kilometers left.
And we went, and then you found another place where I had it, so we drove there.
We drove there.
There was one of these boxes with 3 chargers on it, and one was occupied, and there were 2 free, and we didn't manage to make it work. Actually, I went into the station. I said, "Do you have any charger that works? Because this one doesn't work." And yesterday morning.
Whoa, yeah, you're going too fast now.
Yeah.
So there's the chargers. There's 2 chargers that we can use. One of them we take up, and I took it up and I looked at it, and it looked weird because it's not the one I recognize from what we have at home. So I put it back. And I took the other one, which I plugged in.
That was the one I tried also.
Yeah.
Because it looked normal.
So we both tried it on different occasions in our desperation, and we just couldn't get it to work. We have a card that we got when we got the car, and we just tapped the card on the machine, and it should start charging. And we kept tapping it, and it kept coming up as an error. So we weren't able to charge, and the other cable looked really weird. And then after we realized what it was, but we'll tell you in a bit. The other cable looked really weird, so I looked at it and I said that doesn't fit in our thing. So I put it down, and apparently, without telling me, you did the same.
Yeah, because I thought it was so strange.
Yeah.
Because I haven't charged the car so much in stations.
No, only at home.
Yeah, so I thought that was maybe for a truck or something.
Yeah.
So then I went into the gas station and asked the lady if they had if there were more chargers around, because this one doesn't work. And she said, yeah, you can go to the shopping center just
next door, yeah.
Next door, because they have a lot of chargers.
So
and we went.
We said, thank goodness. We went to the shopping center, and that's when we realized that in Sweden, it's bring your own.
Yeah.
So bring your own cable. There were like 30 chargers, but no cables.
No cars were charging.
Yeah. 30 chargers, no cars, and no cables. So we're standing there, we're looking at the charger, and I'm saying to Arne, I think we should have brought our cable with us, which is, one of the lessons we've learned is, what are we going to do when we go to Oslo tomorrow?
We're going to bring the cable.
Bring the cable. That's it.
So we learned the hard way, and then
I said to Arne, well, we have no choice. We have to go back to the station where all the queuing was. And Arne said, really? And I said, yeah. I looked at my Google Maps and I realized that for sure that station is where we could, charge this car very fast. So I say to Arne, we have to go. And Arne says, do we have enough mileage? And I say, well, we have, it's 24 kilometers to that station. It's about 25 minutes. And then Arne says, and how many kilometers do we have left on our car? And I say, we have 26 kilometers, which means that if everything goes well and we drive to the station, we're going to end up driving there and we're going to have 2 kilometers left, which is about a mile and a half.
I almost freaked out. I was almost...
I thought you were going to throw up.
I felt like I was going to throw up because I felt it was so bad. It's like so claustrophobic, and I felt I don't have time for this. So I was, in my mind, I saw us just parking the car next to the road and called help.
So we get in the car.
Yeah, but then I was thinking, like, what if I take a wrong turn?
Yeah.
What if I go into a wrong turn and I use those 2 kilometers
and I said,
finding the station or the right way?
And I said,
was horrible.
I said, do not take a wrong turn because we cannot afford it. So we're driving back to the station and it's kind of like that game, what's it called? Yarn chicken? Like, do we have enough yarn to finish the project?
Yeah,
well, this is, do we have enough miles or kilometers to get to the station? And the closer we get to the station, the worse things get. So we have this really nice screen here just in front of me where you can see my fingers. Just below there's a screen. So this screen is really nice and it's usually green. And there's a car, like a drawing of a car, and you can see the whole battery. And the battery is usually green, but suddenly, as we're getting closer to the station, the whole screen turns red. The car turns orange, and then the battery turns red. And then we start getting this message.
And the car tells us all the time, you have to charge the car, like now.
Yeah, it says, bring the car to a charging station immediately. And we're like, duh, that's what we're trying to do.
That's what we do. But when we arrived, we had 2 kilometers left or something. Did we? Or
yeah, we had 2 kilometers. Yeah, we got to the station and we stopped the car and we had 2 kilometers left. And when we got to the station, there was one car in front of us. So we still had to wait like 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
So I thought we were waiting long enough.
Yeah.
So I brought out my embroidery because we have that also in the car.
Yeah.
And I said to Carlos, if I start to do my embroidery now, one of the cars will leave. And I took it out, did 2 stitches, and the car left.
Yeah.
So the first car, and then a little bit later, the second one, because we were number 2 in the queue. So
finally, by the time we got in and charged the car, we realized that if we would have waited there in line, when we had enough kilometers, when we had like 50 kilometers left on our battery, if we would have just waited there with the other 3 cars, it would have probably taken less time than all the back and forthing we did. We almost lost complete power in our car. It was very dramatic. Arne said, on Tuesday, I'm gonna hand in this car back to the dealer.
I want to have the old car.
So how do you feel now?
I want that freedom. I feel better now because you've been texting our friend who has an electric car.
Yeah, she's had one for like 8 years now.
So she gave us some really good advice. It's like one of them were like, if you see a charger, a place where you can charge,
just charge and just get it done.
Because the next one can be out of order.
Yeah.
So you never know. So that's what we do now. I feel better now since we have decided to stop on each of the places where we can charge, and I don't think it's a problem.
And it's very fast. I mean, right now our car is at 66%.
I'm going to stop at 80.
Yeah, in 6 minutes our car is going to be at 80, and then we're going to go, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to go, and then we're going to stop again. And recharge the car, like in about 120 kilometers. But this is how we're going to be doing it until we get back to Norway. And it's our first experience with our car. But we've learned a few things. If there's a line, just get in line, period. Bring your cable, always. I mean, we've got one cable, we're going to bring the other always. What else? Yeah, stop and charge often
Yeah,
if you can.
if you can.
And what else have we learned?
What more have
Yeah,
we?
and
I think that's it.
yeah.
Just charge.
And it
You have
just
to
takes
charge.
getting used to. Now you can hear Helmer behind here. He is not a big fan of this car.
Not any
Not
car.
any car, unless we are with him.
And he has
So-
his safety belt, so we have to.
That he hates.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
starts to eat it if we don't keep an eye on him
Yeah.
because he don't like to be in there, and because we don't have space for a big cage in the back
Yeah.
of the car. So when we stop the car, we have to let him free because
And he's a
That's
little
how we
bit
like it.
stressed when he's afraid that we're going to go leave him all alone in the car. We don't know what happened in the past. Maybe he's been left in the car alone and he didn't like it. So he gets really nervous if we start opening the doors and he just wants to join us.
Freya is sleeping. She don't
Yeah, he
care.
doesn't care.
So
But he's a good boy. He's been a really good boy this weekend, hanging out with my parents. He makes my mom very happy. Both of them do. So yeah, it's nice bringing them. It's worth it. We need to give them the pills, the Echinococcus multilocularis, the parasite that is in Sweden but not in Norway. So we've always got
the
pet
passport.
passports here. As you can see, this one is Freya's. This is Freya's pet passport. It's an EU and a Norwegian passport. And here is Helmer's passport. So when we get to Norway, we have to show these and they look at the passport. Both dogs have a microchip in their neck.
Yeah.
They check the microchip and then they check that they've taken their medication so that they can enter Norway safely and without having to go into quarantine.
Yeah.
So that's all in good order.
So that's good, and I think now we have to take both of them out again,
Yeah.
maybe before we go to the next charger station. And
So today, this podcast is going to be a whole podcast for you guys, but for us, it's a podcast that we're breaking down into different sections. So each section will be a charging session as well. So we're multitasking.
yeah, and the car is almost full, so we
Yeah.
have to.
So we've got 3 minutes left
Yeah.
to charge to 80. Our car is now at 74, and we're multitasking. We're doing a podcast. We're gonna walk the dogs. We're gonna get in the car and we're gonna drive to the next station where we will see you guys. We look forward to that. And you know what's cool as well with this car? This car is so modern. We have an outlet as well. In the back seat on the floor, there is an outlet. So we're going to charge the camera too so that we don't run out of battery. Because we've run out of battery enough this
So we have
weekend,
that
haven't
one is
we?
down behind.
Yeah, that's
there.
behind there.
Oh, and what do we have down here?
That's for the USB. But we can
Okay.
charge the camera while we drive because we don't want to run out of any battery ever again. do we?
we've been there
Yeah.
almost.
So when we come back, we are going to recap our stay in Italy, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
Last week you saw us sitting in a park bench in Venice. This week we're in Sweden, and yeah, we're going to recap that. So,
I'll show you some of the project we brought to Sweden.
so
that we
see
worked.
you in a bit. Okay,
See you.
take care,
Take care.
and we're back.
The dogs have been out, they've been walking, they've been doing their business.
And here's Freya. Hi.
And then,
Yeah, so they've been taking a walk. We drove another, I don't know, 100 and something kilometers, and now we're back to charging. And Freya just saw a dog. Yeah, it's chaotic as it's been on this trip,
but we're learning a lot.
but at least we're charging as we're supposed to. I think we're gonna let you go on the floor, Freya, so that you don't see the dog on the other side. There's no moose here, so
No, it's dogs.
yeah.
Everywhere.
So Arne, while we charge, and this time, yeah, it's gonna be like another couple of minutes charging.
It's, we only have 9 minutes.
Yeah, well, up to 80%,
Yeah.
but we can do a little extra anyway.
If there's not a queue. we
Yeah,
can do
if
more.
there's not a queue, we can do that. So, how about recapping a little bit of the Italian trip?
So that was great. We have actually, how do you say? Everything is godkänt.
Yeah, approved.
Approved. Everything is approved.
Yeah.
So we're ready to go with a lot of you people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we will have a really good time. It's been wonderful.
Yes, it is. So last time we talked to you guys was we were sitting on a bench in Mazzorbo, a beautiful little island on the Venetian lagoon. After Mazzorbo, we went to Venice and we stayed there for 4 days. And that was actually a holiday, so we went on a little vacation.
Then we went to Rome.
Yeah, In Venice, we went to look at a lot of art.
Yeah.
Both contemporary art and also old stuff. One of the highlights, Arne, was
Or the pleated.
yeah,
I never
Mariano
remember.
Fortuny.
Fortuny, the pleated, the guy who made the pleated dresses.
Yeah, in the 20s.
And someone said that's more like a secret place. A lot of people don't know about this museum,
Yeah.
so we should put a link somewhere.
Yeah, we should. Yeah,
Because
so it's the museum
It's
for
beautiful.
yeah, it's the Museum Fortuny, and it's the palace actually in Venice. It's by the Grand Canal, and it was his studio.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. It was massive. The Piano
Beautiful
Nobile was really big.
antiques, and there were antiques, there were paintings, there were
And then those beautiful silk lamps that he designed,
Yeah.
and then the silk dresses that he designed. He was a painter, but he became more famous for his clothing.
yeah. Oh,
Actually, the car is trying to tell us something. Hello.
no, he just closed down because I had to put on the engine to get the window up.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that was a highlight, the Palazzo Fortuny. Beautiful.
That was really worth seeing, and then we went to the Guggenheim, which we've been to before.
Yeah,
We have
it's very-
never been in the Fortuny before.
No, because the Fortuny Palace was closed.
Yeah.
All the times we've been to Venice, it's been closed. So this
Yeah.
is the first time that it was opened. And yeah, the Peggy Guggenheim we've been to before.
That
It's
was
very
crowded.
nice, but very crowded.
But a lot of nice stuff.
Yeah, and then
What more?
we went to the. Actually, we went to see the Doge's Palace as well, the Ducal Palace in the Piazza San Marco, because there was
Yeah.
an installation by the German
That was
artist
beautiful.
Anselm Kiefer
Yeah.
that was incredible.
That was really beautiful. Like that combination of all the old paintings, the gold, and then his paintings, like huge
Yeah.
paintings, more like a collage actually.
Yeah.
It was like stuff
It was
painted
quite
in.
incredible, and his massive paintings were installed on the walls of the very old palace of the
Yeah.
Doge, the Doge of Venice.
Doge.
And then he had, and then you could see the beautiful ceilings, old style, but then with all that modern stuff around you.
Yeah,
It was
that
quite
was
incredible.
Actually,
Very inspirational.
Very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
We spent quite some time
I think
there.
that and Fortuny was the highlight.
Yeah.
The museum we went to.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we went to see some modern art that, frankly, we didn't understand. The one that we saw at Punta della Dogana.
I
was
didn't understand it.
a little
Maybe
bit-
you would have understand it if you have a guide, but
Maybe,
I
yeah.
didn't think it was interesting.
No, me
So,
neither.
I felt like, am I the stupid one, or
Yeah,
is
exactly.
someone trying to fool us? Or
Yeah, who knows?
there's probably a deeper meaning.
Yeah, definitely a
but-
deeper meaning.
I don't know.
We just
I didn't get it.
we didn't get it, and yeah, I think that I don't know those kind of installations with I don't know stuff. It was a little bit
Little bit.
not our cup of tea.
No.
But anyway, and then we had of course wonderful seafood. Arne, what did you have for dinner, lunch,
Pasta with seafood for lunch, dinner,
and then lunch again,
and
then
lunch
dinner
again.
Yeah.
Or every day I had them in.
But I was surprised over how
variations.
crowded Venice was. I mean, usually when we go in the past, we wanted to go in the winter. Anywhere from November to before Carnival in February is a good time to go
Yeah.
because it's more quiet. And we thought because of COVID, things would be quieter now. But actually, the world is opening. And so it was really packed in Venice,
Yeah.
more than I cared for, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a little bit too much. But if you went like in the small streets, like behind
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
touristic places,
Then you're fine.
then you're fine.
But you know,
It's interesting because on the tour, I didn't finish the book, but I read this book about what's it called, Hotel Europe, and it's all about being a tourist but not wanting to be a
Yeah.
tourist. It was very interesting because,
Yeah.
like we said, a lot of these things that this guy wrote about in the book is like because. We were all tourists, but we tried to avoid the touristic places.
exactly. Yeah.
And the book had a very funny way of
Yeah.
looking at that.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of like we don't want to be tourists when we travel, but of course we are, just like everybody else is.
He described us actually in the book,
Yeah.
like the people who try to blend in, but
Yeah,
they're obviously tourists.
that would be us, yeah.
We are those people.
But we're the ones that shop as well.
Yeah, because like I think in Venice, a lot of people come if they come with the cruise boats. They just leave the cruise boat, and then they have everything they need on the boat. So
they don't spend any money.
They buy the mask, or what is this?
I think it's your brother.
It's not the car telling us something again.
No, this is your phone telling you something.
Well, we have 5 minutes. You see, we parked after all these cars.
Maybe it's my phone trying to tell me something. I don't know. It wasn't yours. Oh, it was mine. Yeah.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Have you turned it on?
How did I turn it? Why did I turn it on? Anyway, now we're chaotic. Anyway, yeah. So we buy stuff and we bought some. What did we buy? Books. We bought some books.
A lot of books, heavy books.
Yeah.
Normally, I save the heavy books for the post box.
Yeah, but
this time they were so beautiful that I couldn't leave without them.
Yeah, we have 3 minutes if we charge 280, but we can charge a little more so that we can, talk a little more anyway.
Let's see if there's
no
more
queue.
free.
There's no queue.
No queue.
Anyway, so from Venice, we left Venice and we went to Rome, and you saw it a couple of weeks ago. Our Easter greeting was from Rome. We actually recorded the podcast that you saw last week, which was filmed in Mazzorbo, was actually the first thing we did. And then we did the Easter greeting from Rome. But because we were in Italy, we had to get the video over to Eric in Norway, and it was easier to get the short one for the Easter greeting.
So for those of you who think it's live,
it's not.
Sit on it for a bit is never live.
Yeah. So anyway, we went to Rome. We met up with Gita, the person who we work with for our tours.
Yeah.
And we met the people, the agents that have set up the tour in Italy.
Yeah.
Because they're in Rome. And then Rome, Rome is a museum. The whole city is like a museum.
I'm actually staying in the hotel we're staying in the next time is actually close to a place we really want to see. It's like this place with all the bones. What's that called again?
It's a chapel.
A chapel where you can see bones.
From the Franciscan monks.
Yeah. It's a bit scary, but interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
I want to go there.
We are. Yeah, so in Rome, we went to the Villa d'Este. And then we took a morning walk because the hotel we're going to stay in is really close to the Fontana di Trevi.
Yeah, and we didn't swim.
And the Spanish, no, you're not allowed to. I mean, if you get in the water, you get arrested.
There were police everywhere. I was thinking about Anita Ekberg.
Yeah, La Dolce Vita.
La Dolce Vita. But we didn't do that.
She swam in the fountain. And then we went to see the Spanish steps in Rome as well. We tried taking a picture there, but which is a very touristic thing to do.
Which we're not touristic.
No, exactly. But we couldn't get it right because we had there were 50 guys dressed in orange cleaning the steps because we were there really early. So whatever angle we were trying to get, you could still see their orange
was always
uniforms.
Someone cleaning. So
yeah, but and then we had a little coffee stop, which was lovely. Then we got on a train and we took the train to Florence, arriving there a couple of hours later. And Florence is always Florence. It's one of those cities we've been to a billion times for work and which we adore anytime we go.
And we have some nice areas where we like to walk. And it was a new hotel for us this time, and it was actually really nice. We haven't stayed there before, so this is where we're going to take the group on the tour. So.
Yeah, because we usually like staying on the other side of the Arno in the area called Oltrarno. Yeah. But this time we're staying in the side of the river where the dome is, but actually far away from the dome, quite off, but near the water and near a bridge. So it was a nice area. It was
what you call that? Like utkanten?
Yeah, a little bit on the outskirt of the center, but still like a walking distance.
I think we were on the outskirts. There were some woods behind.
We weren't on the outskirts of Florence. We were on the outskirt of the main touristic center of Florence, which is nice because again, you get a little bit of distance to those very touristic places. Yeah. Even if
because it's so crowded.
Tourist. Yeah, but then
we went to the Gucci Garden, which we highly recommend because that is so beautiful. It's the Gucci Museum.
Yeah.
So there, if you're interested in fashion and arts and crafts and
but they also do a lot of cool art installations at Gucci Garden. They had a beautiful video installation there. Which is a couple actually, which were really nice.
I loved. There was the one with Noah's Ark. Is that the English word?
That was really nice.
That was so cool. You went into this room and there were animals running and the water was coming. And
all videos, of course.
and that was beautiful. So, and what more was interesting? The room with the insects.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
That was gorgeous.
It's like a whole room full of
with mirror in the roof and the floor, so they were like.
Well, one side was
everywhere.
dried insects, the other side were cuckoo clocks.
Yeah, that's.
And in between there, they had all the Gucci sneakers. But honestly, who was looking at the sneakers? Were you?
No, I was looking at the insects.
I was looking at the insects and the cuckoo clocks.
The clocks.
And there was a wall with wigs as well.
Well, I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't?
I missed it.
Oh, okay. They were like very theatrical 18th century pompadours.
In the same room as the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was.
You had the butterflies first, then the wigs, and then you had the shoes in the center, and then you had the cuckoo clocks.
I was so you see, you have to go back because you can see new things.
Yeah.
All the time.
Can
Because
always see something new.
I was so obsessed by the insects and the clocks.
It was beautiful anyway.
It was nice.
Then we got on a train and we left beautiful Florence. Florence is really one of the nicest cities
it's beautiful.
in Italy. I mean, even though a lot of cities are nice. I love Florence. I love Venice. I love Rome. I love them all, actually.
Yeah. We love Italy.
Yeah, so from Florence, we took a train to Milano. And then we stayed in Milano for an hour in this train station. The train station in Milano is gorgeous, by the way.
It's beautiful.
And then we got on a local train for the 1 hour trip to take us to Lago di Maggiore, the Lake Maggiore, where you have it's a lake, one of the large Italian lakes, which is actually a Swiss lake as well, depending on where you are.
Where you are, yeah.
You can see Switzerland from Italy and
it was very windy actually.
Yeah,
but it's a strange place because you can see the Alps with the snow, and then they have lime trees and everything down in the valley.
Palm trees and
it's beautiful.
Limes and lemons and palm trees, and it's gorgeous. The Italian lakes truly are remarkable. A very dreamy destination. But a very windy day, so we wanted to go into the island, the Borromeo Islands, but we couldn't get to the Borromeo Islands from Stresa, where we were staying. So we actually had to take a taxi to a town further down so that we could cross onto the islands. I was very disappointed at one point because I thought we wouldn't get on the islands, but actually we did.
We did. We found this place where you could get over.
And it was really nice. A very enjoyable stay over at the lakes, even if it was windy. We're going to be staying at this very opulent hotel called the Regina Palace. Regina Palace, and it used to be where everybody started all the aristocrats when they came down to Italy to do the Grand Tour. They actually came in through Switzerland, and they actually started the first place where people went for the Grand Tour was actually the Italian lakes when they came to Italy.
It's a nice place.
Yeah, and from there they continued southward. So it's very set up. There's at least 2 very opulent Belle Epoque hotels. We stayed in one of them. And everybody has stayed there, like Winston Churchill and Hemingway. And
it's a nice place to
and then you have the beautiful lakes and all the beautiful statues and the beautiful gardens, and so it's a gorgeous place, and I can't wait to actually take all our guests there once we start our trip in not so long.
No, we're going back soon.
And then one of the last things you do when you go to Italy, if you're very interested in food as I am, is because you don't wait until the airport to buy your Parmesan cheese and all that, because that costs more. So what you do is when you're staying in a little town or a city, you just find the best supermarket. Usually it's a small one, but in Stresa it was an okay one. It was a Carrefour, and in there I went to the cheese counter, and they had like these chunks of Parmesan this size. I got 3 of them, and then you just ask the people there, the people who work there, to vacuum pack it for you, because they have a vacuum machine in the back. So the lady vacuum packed 3 massive chunks of cheese. So we had 1 for ourselves, and then we gave away 2, one for our
Helmer sitter.
Yeah, the Helmer's sitter,
sitter,
and then 1 chunk for Freya's sitter, because we had to separate them this time. So it was lovely.
Yeah, I think we should leave, Carlos.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
we are finished.
Yeah, I guess we are full. Anyway, that was a recap of Italy.
So we can continue in the next.
And
place.
we'll continue in the next one. What we need to do now, because Freya is here, she's been a really good girl. She needs to go back into her cage.
Yeah.
And don't open the door now because Helmer's gonna cry.
So I'm gonna stop the camera.
Yeah, and Helmer, as you know, he hates when we open the doors because he's afraid we're gonna leave him. So I am gonna cuddle him while Arne puts Freya in. Actually, you know what? You cuddle him.
I cuddle.
No.
You put Freya.
Yeah, you cuddle him, and you need to put a safety belt on him.
I know.
Yeah, because he's got a safety belt as well. And I'm gonna put Freya in her little home. And next time you see us, we've actually shopped for groceries because we're gonna do a stop for that too.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be the last stop before we enter Sweden. So
Norway.
Sorry, before we enter Norway, because we're still in Sweden.
So see you in a bit.
So see you in a bit. So take care, and we'll talk about projects on the go when we see you.
Yeah.
Again.
See you.
Toodaloo.
Toodles.
Hi everyone, we're back. This is the third part of this week's Sit in It for a Bit on the road. We are literally on the road. Where are we now, Arne?
We have passed the border and we're on our way home. We're in Norway.
So we decided to charge in Norway instead of charging in Sweden. For some reason, we had a lot of battery left when we were getting closer to the station that we had planned. So we ended up going to Sweden.
Yeah, Norway.
Sorry, Norway.
Yeah, I drove through whole of Sweden. So now you can drive.
Yeah, I've taken over and I'm driving the rest of the way home. And if we took Freya out of the cage. Helmer and Freya have been taking a little walk.
Doing their business.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys, I mean, we have a lot of viewers from all over the world. So when we pass the border from Sweden into Norway, there's no passport control. There's no actual border in the sense of immigration. And actually, Norway belongs to Schengen, which is the union of borders here in Europe. So if you enter through one Schengen country, you don't have to go through border controls or immigration to all the other Schengen countries. So all of Scandinavia, of course, the entire EU except for the Republic of Ireland are in Schengen. And when the UK was part of the EU, they weren't in Schengen either. And then you've got Iceland, Switzerland. They're also part of this border union. So you just drive through. We have to have Freya's passports with us. But we don't have our own passports with us.
So they have each their own passport because there's like this thing.
Because of the parasite that exists in Sweden that doesn't exist here in Norway. So we have to have the passport just in case there is a border control, but the border control would normally be for customs. And actually there was a customs control today.
It was.
So
but
there was a lot of traffic passing through.
They're probably looking for
drugs,
something.
probably. Yeah,
we don't know.
And when we passed the control station, there was a car and there was a dog, and some customs officers sniffing probably to see if there was anything illegal. But we just drove past. Even we had the dogs.
Like the first time we came from Sweden, we had Freya to Sweden, and we passed the border. We thought we had to stop and show the passport, so we drove on the red light, and we came into this parking lot with only trailers, big, or you call it not trailer?
Yeah, but these giant trucks.
Trucks. And nobody understood what we were doing there because we thought we had to show the passport, but now we learned you just drive through, and if they stop you and ask for it, you have it. So
when we cross the border from Sweden to Norway, we just drive through the green lane, and usually they don't even stop us. There was a period during COVID that they did, but now that's over, so they don't stop us anymore. I mean, COVID is not over, but there is no more restrictions in Scandinavia. Here in our part of the world, COVID is now treated as the flu, so there's no need to do passport controls anymore. But there was a period in 2020 and 2021 where there was a control for vaccination certificates, but now we just drive normally. And so we're charging our car, and then we're going to do the last leg of a trip home. We're going to talk a little bit about our projects. As you know, we got this car particularly or specifically because of this console.
There's so much space for your knitting.
There's a lot of space.
or other things. So
there's always going to be some knitting projects on the go in this console. And there's even place for a little basket of yarn, a little stash of yarn underneath the console.
I think this is finished now.
Yeah?
I have the body in the back, so I have to try it on later. But I think it's finished. And I went back to doing the narrow sleeve again because I started the third sleeve, wider one, and I thought it was too wide. So now I would try the narrow one. And the other sleeve is in my brother's house. So we have to get the other sleeve.
Yeah.
So this one will soon be finished.
I'm gonna give him a little cuddle. Yeah. He's breathing heavily now. He's just had some water. It's okay. And we've got
there
the
were
windows
dogs
down.
passing by, so he's like so excited.
And we've got the windows down. It's been a beautiful day, so we've been enjoying some stunning weather. But yeah, we've got our projects on the go. Maybe you remember that shirt that Arne had started on. How's that going?
It stopped because I was out of yarn, and I don't know why I brought it to Sweden, but I did. So this one with the horses.
Yeah. So is this this is the sleeve? But you're not going to do anything to it, are you?
No, not the sleeves. No. But I'm going to work on the body. So this
body,
is this is the body I worked on in Italy. But I'm out of that rust red or brownish color. So I tried to get it in Italy, but there was like only one person working in the shop, and there was a lady showing off a lot of projects.
Yeah, so we went to this store. It
took forever.
It was a store in Venice, and we went there 3 times, and we couldn't get in because there was a woman there, probably a customer, talking to the owner of the store.
So we gave up.
And it was a tiny store, you know. It was like there was room for one person, basically.
So we're gonna do it tomorrow.
So yeah, after three runs into that store, we gave up. We couldn't get in because there was a customer there.
But I brought another waistband.
But wait on it, and then we went to Maggiore, to Stresa, and we went into the beautiful store there.
Yeah, that was the second or third.
Yeah,
the second place we tried in Italy, and that was so beautiful. So when we go to Italy, I think we should recommend that place to the people who come with us, because that was really beautiful. There was this older, looked a little bit eccentric guy, and he had a lot of boxes and.
He was wearing a lab coat, a white lab coat,
and he had like everything was in paper boxes, and he had suitcases, and he was looking through all these colors, but nothing matched. So
and there was tons of stuff in there. There was yarn,
embroidery yarn. There was sewing
needles,
things. There were
toys,
gifts and toys and souvenirs, everything. So
very pretty shop.
I think it was really nice.
So we're going to take all our guests who are joining us on our garden trip there.
Yeah.
If you're one of our guests, you're lucky.
But he didn't speak really a word of English.
No, but
I use
international language. You communicate. But he didn't have the right color. He did bring out all the color cards, and he had all these boxes that he brought out.
But
he was very helpful.
But tomorrow
at the Arts and Crafts store. Yeah. We're going to go to the Arts and Crafts store tomorrow to get some stuff.
So I will work on that on the cruise we're doing.
Yeah. And other than that, we've also, I took my vest with me to Sweden, my folk costume vest, because there's an issue here on the top. Yeah. It kind of, the collar stands out a little bit. So what we need to do is we need to open it up in the back, and then we need to put in some of the fabric and stretch the collar.
Stretch the collar so you get ease.
A little bit of ease, yes. So that's a project that we're working on now that the jackets are almost finished.
They will be finished tomorrow.
Yeah.
Also. So just a few hand stitches.
So even if we would come home today and then be like really busy until May 17th, which is in about a month, at the time of recording this video, of course. Anyway, even if we would have just not done anything, we could have still worn them on May 17th because they are pretty ready. Everything's done. Lining's done. There's a little bit of work left. Yeah. In my jacket, we need to finish sewing the lining on the inside down where the facing goes on the top of the shoulder. We need a few stitches there because it got really late when we were doing that, so we ended up saying we will do it in the morning.
We were actually watching Bridgerton in our pajamas with wet hair and hats, because we bought hats for the folk costume.
Yeah,
and we couldn't get the size.
I know, yeah. That
So
was...
we bought, our hats were a little bit too small.
So this is Hatgate. We talked about it last episode, and yeah, we want. So the guy retired, 87 years old. He's retired. How could he do that?
How could
No, just
he
kidding,
do that?
just kidding. But no, he retired, and we wanted his hat because that hat is made in Norway. We don't want the one made in Denmark. No offense to the Danes, but if you're gonna wear a Norwegian folk costume, you want a hat made in Norway. We scoured the internet and we finally found a store that had stock. We wanted two size 58. According to the web shop, they had one, so we bought a 58 and a 57. Then they called and said they only had two 57.
And we took them.
We took them. They were a little small, so yeah. You can picture this because we're not going to show you. But imagine us taking a shower in the evening, changing into our beautiful pajamas, and then wearing the hat, this
hats.
very formal black hat, with our pajamas, watching Bridgerton.
But it worked.
It worked.
They
yes.
fit us perfectly now.
Yeah, and so you did it 2 evenings or 3? I did it 3.
Yeah, I did it 2 maybe. I think you spend more time on your hat.
Yeah. So we're not only pajamas gardeners, but we also wear formal hats with our pajamas when we watch Bridgerton. I think that's very eccentric, don't you agree?
Maybe. You look probably a bit stupid wearing those hats and pajamas.
It's funny.
It's funny.
And then I don't know if this is too much information, but Muji, the Japanese brand Muji, Muji, they make the best cotton pajamas in the world. So those are the pajamas we wear. Mine was, the one I was wearing was white with blue stripes, and you were wearing a black gingham pajamas.
Yeah.
So there you have a picture. Pajamas in gingham, mine with stripes, and then you have that
A cup
hat
of tea
and a cup of tea.
and Bridgerton.
And we're watching season 2 of Bridgerton, which we love.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And the last episode is
We're going to see the last one.
we're gonna watch
now.
it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I think season 2 is better than season 1. I loved season
I
2.
like season 2 more. Yeah.
Fantastic. So that's our favorite show right now, in case you were wondering. So what else?
Yeah, I brought this one because I finished the jacket with the parrots, and then I decided I want to have more, so I put on like
A mandala.
a mandala, something it's a sketch we did long time ago, and I decided to do a little bit of the mandala between the parrots. So that's the new project. So now it's gone from a finished jacket back to an unfinished one, a UFO. And we also brought the flowers from the crochet along.
Which we hope you guys are enjoying a lot.
Sewing threads.
Yeah.
The last one.
We're making our blanket now, where we did seat pads, but now we're turning the seat pads into a blanket. And
will take a long time.
If you haven't been following our YouTube lately, you should go to and check out the crochet and knit along, which is a lot of fun. Lots of people doing the crochet and knit along. You can win a great prize from Prim, a miniature knitting mill. So go check that out on our YouTube channel. You can get the pattern for the crochet along on our website at arnecarlos.com, and you can get the blocks, because we're doing knitting blocks again, on our blog for free. So there's something for everybody on our channel. But you know what? There's a lot of bi-stitchual people out there.
What's that?
They do both crochet and knitting.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so they're doing the knit along and the crochet along.
And they
They're
should
doing
do
both.
embroidery also.
I agree.
Yeah.
I approve of that.
And talking about embroidery, I found something in the thrift shop, because there's so many shops around where Carlos' parents live.
Mm-hmm.
So I found these old books with cross stitches. This one cost $2.75. 2 kronor.
yeah, from the 30s.
So I have one, and I got another one. So I have 2. It's. Would you say that? 1 is 1, 2 is
A pair.
A pair, and I have 3.
A collection.
I have a collection.
You certainly do.
These old patterns. They look very like moldy, but the smell.
But they're pretty. I mean,
They're pretty.
I
So
was
this
looking at them, and I came up with some really good ideas.
But we have a collection of this.
Yeah,
We have a
so-
collection of many different
Look at
things.
this. You've got really nice stuff there that you can work on. which is really lovely.
And there's so much inspiration.
Yeah.
So if you're...
And that store is really nice. We also got a lamp. It's actually a very simple, basic to hang on the roof, on the ceiling. We have them. We have the originals from the 50s in our home, which used to be a train station. They're white and they're just glass balls. They are not transparent, so they are white. And we have them hanging in the kitchen, but one of them is a little bit delicate, and we are afraid one day it's gonna.
It's actually a crack. It will.
It's cracked.
Though.
And so we saw a lamp at the store, and we just bought the. Yeah. We wanted to have the glass, but I said to Arne,
maybe we change the lamp.
It's better to buy the whole thing. Either we change the lamp or we change the glass. But you know, either way.
You have to see how big the opening on the
either way,
glass.
We're happy with the.
Okay,
with
Carlos.
what we found.
But it's getting warm in there.
It's getting really warm. So yeah, it's getting warm. We've got 2 dogs. We need to, and our car is actually almost fully charged.
There's only 2 cars, us and another car charging. So there's a lot of free chargers there.
Good,
but still
a little bit less chaotic than before. Maybe a few final words on the electric car. I love it. But as our friend Gita was saying, she's had one for 8 years. As she was saying, you have to get used to it. It takes 6 months to get used to it. Yes, the driving long distance down to Sweden, it's 800 kilometers. It takes 8 hours to drive down, and coming back, it's a challenge. You have to plan a lot. You have to stop to do the charging. I love it when we're home and when we can drive it, you know, shorter distances where we don't have to charge it at a special place, but do it at home. I think we're gonna get used to it. I do love the car, but
I think it's a better way of driving in a way, because now we actually take a break every now and then, and not like before.
Oh, careful.
Well, no, I just have to get some air in because I think it's starting to get warm, so we have to take the dogs out again.
Anyway, what I was going to say was that for summer I do look forward to driving the Beetle when we go long distance.
Yeah, me too, because then you can just go. But I think in a way it's better to now the way we drove this time, because we actually had to stop. Sometimes we don't stop, and they say you should stop every now and then to take a break to be more safe on the road.
That's true, yeah. Anyway, you were tired. You were tired, and now I'm going to drive the rest of the way. And we've got a few hours to go, so we're going to get on the road again. We hope that you have enjoyed this, sit in it for a bit. Sorry for the noise. There's a big... Oh, there's a whole group of motorcycles passing by. It's the season. It's the season for motorcycles. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because once you do, you can hit that notification bell to be notified when we post something new, and you'll never miss an episode. And the mailing list is the best way to keep in touch with us. We've already revealed we are going to the US this fall, but we're not going to reveal where, and our schedule is not going to be revealed until later. And once it does get revealed, it's done by mailing list, so you have to get on the mailing list if you want to know where we are going to be. And we're going to be doing our knitting cruises in May. So there's going to be a knitting cruise in May. There's going to be the garden trip in Italy in May. The cruise is sold out, and it's actually very soon, so you can't get on that one. But if you have a last minute change of mind and want to do Italy with us, there's 2 seats or 2 spots available, so sign up for that. And that's pretty much it. We are going to be releasing new cruises for next year soon, so keep your eyes peeled. That also goes through our mailing list. So thanks so much for watching.
Thanks for watching, and we have to take them out. She's warm now.
She's warm. See you soon.
See you soon.
Next week. Bye.
Yeah, next week. Bye.